Namaste students. So today we are dealing with the chapter that is redox reaction. So first we are dealing with part 1, the next class we are dealing with part 2. Okay. So now before going with redox reaction we should know some of the basic concepts. So what is that? First you should know regarding chemical reaction. What is mean by chemical reaction? It is nothing but your backbone of your chemistry is nothing but whatever the changes has been taking place in your nature, so that should be written in terms of reaction. Okay, so that we are going to consider as chemical reaction. So here chemical reaction is nothing but it is the backbone of chemistry. So there is no chemistry without chemical reaction. So without chemical reaction you cannot explain anything in chemistry. So in order to understand chemical reaction, it is necessary to know about the changes. So as I said, any changes has been taken place in chemistry in the sense that will be mentioned in terms of chemical reaction. So before going with the concept of chemical reaction, you should know the changes whatever is taking place in your nature. So the changes mainly we have divided into two changes, that is one is known as physical change and another is known as chemical change. So in our day-to-day life if we come across several types of changes, so basically we have divided as physical change as well as chemical change, where changes has been taken place from one state to another. So we have mentioned based on the classification, that is physical change as well as chemical change. So first we will go with the first concept, that is nothing but physical change. So physical change is nothing but it is a temporary change in which a specific property of the substance alters keeping the composition same. Okay, here physical change is nothing but composition will be same. Okay, whatever the first state it will be there, the next also after changes also the state will be same. Okay, so the composition will be same, but if you go with the property, some of the property will change, some of the physical property will change. It can be its boiling point, melting point, it can be with the temperature, pressure. Okay, so anything goes like that, in the sense we are going to call it as physical change. For example, simple example if I tell, melting of ice. So melting of ice is nothing but when it is in the liquid form and later conversion into solid form. Okay, again that can be converted from solid to liquid. So there the changes has been taken place. That is nothing but just a physical change. Composition is same. It is having same composition of water molecule, though it is in physical state or it is in liquid state. I mean solid state or liquid state. The composition is same. It is having some amount of water molecule itself, but the changes whatever has been taken place, that only with the physical state. Okay, so from solid to liquid or liquid to solid, only physical state has been changed. So now here example, if you go, the melting of ice, wax or ghee, evaporation of water, again it goes with the temperature, again condensation of water vapor, magnetization of iron, glowing of an electric bulb, expansion or contraction of metals on heating or cooling, stretching of rubber with the elastic limit. So these are nothing but some simple physical term, physical changes where it is taking place. Okay. The next we will go with the characters of physical change. What are the characters of physical change? Whenever it goes with physical change, what will happen? So it goes with a temporary change. Now whatever the changes has been taken place with the temperature, for example. Okay, so though when the temperature is increased, it goes attains with one physical state. Okay, but it is common, right? I mean that temperature it will reduce after some time. So we can say that is a temporary change and it can be reversible also. Okay, example, same melting of ice. Okay, solid to liquid, liquid to solid. The changes has been reversible. Now there is no change in mass and chemical composition. As I said, if you are taking a glass of water and keeping in fridge, in a sense the same amount of water liquid has been converted into solid form. There is no change in the mass as well as its composition. First also it is having H2O molecule, later conversion into solid. After that also the state or the composition, if you go, that will be there with water, H2O molecules. No new substances is formed. As I said, only H2O molecules will be there, no new substances. So only little heat of absorbed or liberated. In some cases physical change where it goes, either heat of absorption will take place or heat of liberation it will take place. So based on the changes what it undergoes. Okay. So but here the changes with heat it takes place that the amount of heat will be very less. Okay. Next we are going with chemical change. So chemical change is nothing but, as the name indicates, where chemically it should be changed. Okay, some reaction has to take place. For example, simple example, rusting of iron. Okay, so iron, it is nothing but Fe. Okay, but when it is react with your moisture or water content or oxygen, a formation of layer will take place, oxide layer will take place. So iron oxide formation. So that is nothing but a chemical change. Your burning of paper, burning of wood, anything when it goes with combustion. Okay, combustion is nothing but burning of some of the carbon compound. Okay, in the presence of oxygen, that is must. Combustion is nothing but when it goes with combustion, it should burn in the presence of oxygen. So there a chemical reaction should take place. Chemical changes has been taken place. So now here the concept, if you go, a chemical change is a permanent change in which the chemical composition of the substances changes. So physical change is nothing but there is only the property will change, composition will remain as it is. So here chemical change is nothing but composition only will change over here. Okay, so that is nothing but chemical change. Example, combustion of carbon, okay, or any of substance. So when it undergoes combustion, okay, for example, something, if paper, if you will take, okay, so how it will be there after combustion? If you burn the paper, what will happen? It will turn into ash. The chemical changes has been taken place over there. Same thing if you go with the decomposition of limestone, that is nothing but CaCO3, okay, calcium carbonate. So when it undergoes for all this, we'll see the reaction later. Okay. Next, rusting of iron, as I said, electroplating, electrolysis of water. Okay, so where the formation of hydrogen as well as oxygen will be done from water molecule. So there is also same thing. Chemical changes will take place over there. Now if we will go with the characters, so it is a permanent change. Okay, so this chemical change, whatever will take place, it is a permanent change. Next, one or more new substances with different compositions are formed. It is not necessary that whatever you will take it as a reactant, the same thing you should get as a product. So chemical changes in the sense, the reactant will be, after when it undergoes reaction, it will change. Okay, formation of product will be different form. Okay. The next one, it may be reversible or irreversible, but most of the cases, chemical changes, if you will go, it goes with reversible process. Okay, so irreversible process are less over there. Next, a certain amount of heat may be absorbed or liberated. So here I'll say maybe. Okay, so some amount of heat it can absorb or some amount of heat can liberate it. So chemical reaction is nothing but it is a process in which one or more substance, so which we can call it as element or compound, undergo a chemical change with absorption or liberation of heat. So there the composition should change. Okay, so then we are going to call it as chemical changes. Okay, so the substances present before the chemical change or chemical reaction, we are going to call it as reactant. Okay, the substance which is formed later after chemical reaction, that we are going to call it as product. So when you are writing in your book, in a sense, always your left side you will be having reactant as well as right side you will be having product. Okay, so reactants are nothing but before a changes, whatever it will be there, that we are going to call it as reactant. After the changes, whatever we will get, that will be called as product. Now regarding chemical equation, so chemical equation is nothing but it is a scientific representation. Okay, scientifically you are representing, anything, any changes has been taking place in the sense, it should have some elements, molecules. Okay, all those things you are writing in terms of reaction, that will be considered as chemical reaction. So it is a short scientific representation of a chemical reaction by using of symbol or formula of the substance involved in the reaction. Okay, so for example, H2O molecule under electrolysis process, decomposition, if it takes place in the sense, it goes with H2 as well as O2. Okay, so that is nothing but you are writing in terms of a chemical reaction, in terms of arrow mark as well as plus sign, you are going to write a reaction. So that we are going to call it as chemical equation. So it will be written, so it has some concept how we are going to write a chemical reaction. See, the first concept, the symbol or formula of all the reactants are written each one of them separated by plus sign. For example, if you are taking one reactant, no need to write plus sign. For example, if you are having many of the reactants, the number of reactants are present. Okay, so by then what you are supposed to do? For example, hydrogen as well as oxygen combination you are doing. So when you are writing, how you are supposed to write? Hydrogen is H2 as well as oxygen is O2. So combination in the sense you are going to combine those reactants. So between plus sign you are supposed to write. So that is must. Next, a horizontal arrow mark pointing towards right side is written after the reactant. Okay, why towards right side? Because the product you are going to write on the right side. Okay, so after writing reactant H2 plus O2, after that you have to put arrow mark so that product formation you can write in your right side. Okay, so that arrow mark towards that right side you are supposed to show, because you are writing when these reactant will combine with one another, you will get product. Okay, so this is the product that you will get. So you are supposed to show in terms of arrow mark. Now, if the reaction is reversible, sometime as I mentioned, some chemical reaction it can be reversible also. Okay, so when you are writing reversible reaction, when you are explaining reversible reaction, by that time when you are writing that double arrow mark you are supposed to show. Okay, so here it means the first arrow mark. Okay, it shows the reaction will go towards forward. Okay, in the same way the downward arrow mark. Okay, so it shows the reaction is coming backward. So forward as well as backward, both the reactions are possible. So we can say that is a reversible reaction. The reaction will go first like this, so that this will be the reactant and that will be the product. And next time that will be the reactant and this side whatever you have written that will comes as product. So you are writing the reaction or that arrow mark towards this side. Okay. Next, now the symbol or formula of all the products are written, each one of them again separated by plus sign. So as you have written reactant, in the same way you are supposed to write product also. If you have only one product, just mention that product, that is enough. If you have the number of products, 2 or more products are there, so that products you are supposed to mention in terms of plus sign. Okay, so between those products you are supposed to write plus sign. Next, the gaseous products are indicated by writing a vertical arrow mark pointing upward after its formula. So when you have gases, okay, in the sense when you are writing reaction, some gases are liberating. Okay, the product form. For example, combustion only I will take. Combustion C plus O2. Okay, what you will get as a product? CO2. Carbon dioxide is a gas. So when you are writing gas as a product, so you are supposed to show that this arrow mark you are supposed to show, vertical arrow mark you are supposed to show. Why it is so? Because gases are liberating. Okay, so when the gases are liberating, by then you are supposed to show with arrow mark. So by this arrow mark you can find out that molecule is nothing but a gas. Okay. Next, if a precipitate is formed in the reaction, then it is indicated by writing a vertical arrow mark pointing toward downward. Precipitate formation. In your lower classes you have studied what is meant by precipitate. It is nothing but insoluble substance which will not get dissolved in your solvent. So that is nothing but precipitate. So that precipitate, what will happen? It is settling down. Okay, if you are taking the precipitate in the beaker in the sun, that precipitate after some time it will settle down, right? So that precipitate, if for example you are writing a reaction, you have got a precipitate. Okay, in a reaction, you are writing precipitate in a reaction. So when you are writing precipitate, there you are supposed to show vertical arrow mark. So that should be pointing towards down. Okay, so downward in a sense, a downward arrow mark is there in a sense that molecule is nothing but a precipitate. Now, what is meant by precipitate? It is an insoluble substance that separates when two solutions are mixed with each other. Some of the precipitate examples as well as how you are going to write that arrow mark, all those things we will see with the examples. Okay. Next point, the condition of the reaction like temperature, pressure, etc. and catalyst. If anything used, that should be written above the arrow mark. Now we are writing reactants. Okay. Think for example, you have two reactants. So that you have written arrow mark and product has been formed. Okay. Now this reaction you have done under a certain temperature or under certain pressure, or sometimes some catalysts are used. Catalysts are nothing but which helps to increase the rate of reaction, which helps to faster the rate of the reaction. So any substance you are using in the sense where you have written arrow mark above it, you are supposed to write. For example, one reaction you have done, that reaction has been done under 273 Kelvin. Okay, so temperature. So now that temperature you are supposed to mention over here. Okay, or some pressure in the presence of 2 bar. Okay, in the presence of some pressure you have done. So that should be mentioned over here. So above the arrow mark you are supposed to mention all those things: temperature, pressure, as well as catalyst if you are using. Above the arrow mark, the middle, okay, between reactant and product, whatever arrow mark you are writing, so above that you are supposed to write. In some reactions, the physical state of reactants and products are also indicated. You might have seen in some books when you are reading reactants when they are written. Now for example, carbon plus oxygen, which gives CO2. Now carbon where they have written inside the bracket, they might have written in terms of S. Okay, Coke if you are taking solid form. Okay, oxygen where they have written, you might have seen, they have written as G. G is nothing but gaseous form. So which state form of those molecules will be represented in terms of bracket. Okay, so it should be written below of those molecules. Now let us write the chemical reaction. So the next one, some of the examples we are seeing over here. First example, combustion of carbon. So example, you see carbon plus oxygen, which gives CO2. So this is one reactant, this is another reactant. So these are reactants. After arrow mark whatever you have written, that is nothing but product. Okay, so here 2 reactants are there, so you are supposed to write in terms of plus sign. Okay, and so once you have written the reactant, before you write the product, you are supposed to mention the arrow mark. Okay, and there CO2 where you have written, so where the CO2 is present, here you can see the arrow mark towards upward. So what does it mean? That is a gas. Carbon dioxide gas is liberating. Okay. Next example, decomposition of your limestone, CaCO3, calcium carbonate. If you take, same thing. So here one reactant is there, you have 2 products. From these reactants you have got calcium oxide as well as carbon dioxide over here. So those are the products. Again the product, number of products you can see over here. So here plus sign you are supposed to write, as well as between reactant as well as product you are supposed to write arrow mark. Okay, as well as carbon dioxide is a gas which should be shown with the arrow mark, okay, towards upward. Next, decomposition of lead nitrate. So this lead nitrate, when it undergoes decomposition, so all those terms, decomposition, combustion, double displacement, okay, displacement, all those terms you have already learned. And regarding this concept, again we are going to revise under next slide. In the sense, redox reaction, this is part 1 slide. Next part 2 slide we will be discussing regarding those concepts. So now here we will just see regarding the reaction. So now decomposition of this lead nitrate, in a sense you will get lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide as well as oxygen you are going to get. So there 3 product has been formed, so you are going to write with the plus sign between all those products. In the same way you can see there 2 arrow marks are there, okay, towards upward, which is showing which is pointing upward. So that is nothing but one is NO2, nitrogen dioxide is a gas, so that you are supposed to show with the arrow mark, as well as oxygen also. Okay. The next one, silver nitrate, AgNO3. You can see here aqueous solution it is. Okay. Again NaCl, this is an aqueous solution after arrow mark. So these are the reactants. So that when these 2 will come and you will get silver chloride as well as sodium nitrate. Both are aqueous solution. And you can see where you have written silver chloride, you can see the arrow mark which is pointing down. So what does it mean? It means it is a precipitate. Okay. So this is a clear solution. Okay. Silver nitrate is a clear solution. Take it in a test tube. As well as sodium chloride, take it in a test tube. Clear solution. Both are clear solution. When you will mix this, you can see the formation of precipitate. Okay. So in your test tube, white color precipitate started forming. So what is that? It is nothing but your silver chloride. So okay. So that is nothing but precipitate form which will settle down in the test tube. So you are going to show with this downward arrow mark. Next, one more example. example, barium chloride, sodium sulfate. When these will combine, you are going to get barium sulfate and NaCl, sodium chloride you are going to get. Again the same thing is happening. So here also when you will mix these two, you will get a precipitate. Okay, so in your test tube you are going to get precipitate. Barium sulfate you are going to get as a precipitate. Again white color precipitate will be formed. The same thing, the precipitate should be shown with downward arrow mark. Next, we are going with next concept, that is nothing but balancing the chemical reaction. So whatever the changes has been taken place in a reaction, that you have learned, physical change as well as chemical change, and how we are going to write in terms of reaction term, that also you have learned. Next, balancing of these equations are must. When you are writing a reaction, it doesn't change with any of mass. Okay, so here mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction according to the law. Okay, so the mass in the sense whatever you will take it as a reactant, the same thing should be there as a product also. For example, here how many numbers or how many moles of carbon you have taken, the same moles of or same mass of carbon should be there on product side also. Same mass of, for example, here you are taking oxygen in the sense, the same mass of oxygen also should be there in product side also. So that is nothing but balancing one equation. So when a chemical reaction takes place, there is change in chemical composition of the reactants. However, there is no change in the mass. Okay, mass will never change according to the law of conservation of mass, which I have learned before. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. It will remain as it is. Okay. So the number of atoms of different elements present in the molecules of reactants and products must be the same. It is therefore necessary to equalize the number of atoms or different elements present in both reactant and product. So when any chemical changes has been taken place in a sense, you are going to write a reaction. So when you are writing reaction, it is compulsory that reaction should be balanced. Okay, you are supposed to check whether the reaction is balanced or not. So that is a compulsory term under chemistry. Okay, so now here the process of equalizing the number of atoms present in the molecules of reactants as well as product are considered to be balancing a chemical reaction. How we are going to balance a chemical reaction? Two methods are there. One is known as trial and error method and another is known as oxidation number method. So you will be learning under this concept now. So trial and error method is nothing but it is a hit and trial method. Just you are putting one number and you are just seeing whether the reaction is balanced or not. So some of the examples we are going to see. So when you are writing or when you are balancing equation, just go through with the points. So here there is no hard and fast rule for balancing a chemical reaction. In the sense it doesn't have proper rules to balance the reaction. Anyhow, you are supposed to balance the equation. That's it. Okay, with the same number. Number should be same of the reactants as well as product. That's it. So now first what you are supposed to write? You are supposed to write a skeletal equation. This points will help you to balance. That's it. Okay, so this is not a rule that you are going to deal with when you are writing a chemical reaction. So now first what you are supposed to write? Write a skeletal equation. Skeletal equation is nothing but whichever the equation the changes has been taken place in terms of molecules you are going to write. Okay, molecules or compounds you are going to write. That will be considered as skeletal equation. Next, first consider a particular element either from reactant or from the product and count the number of atoms of the element in molecules of reactants as well as product. Any one molecule you consider either from reactant side or product side. Check whether those numbers are equal or not. If it is not equal, you are supposed to put some number so that it will become equal. If this number is equal, then consider another element. Otherwise, balance these elements by writing the suitable number as coefficient. So whatever number you are writing in front of any molecule or compound, so that will be considered as coefficient of the molecule. So you are supposed to write some number just to balance the reaction. If it is already balanced, no need to write again. Okay. Now, after writing the coefficient, the number of other elements present in a molecule of that compound will be affected. Okay, so now balance the affected element with a suitable coefficient of the formula on the other side, as I said. Okay, so if you are balancing in reactant side in the cell, next it should be balanced with product side also. The same method is applied to balance every element in the equation. All the elements in the reaction, it should be balanced. Next, in some equations, there may be diatomic molecules as one of the reactants and products, and the atom of the same element exists in odd number on either side. If it is present in odd number, make it as even. Okay, so that the balancing will become easy. Okay, so we'll go with some of the examples. For example, potassium chlorate, when it undergoes decomposition, in the sense or in the presence of heat, you will get potassium chloride as well as oxygen. Oxygen gas is liberating over there. Okay, so now when you are balancing, this is a skeletal equation. Okay, just write it in terms of molecules or compound. That's it. Okay, so just a chemical reaction you are supposed to write. So this is a skeletal equation. Next, what you are supposed to do? First, consider atom. Now, for example, here if you go, check with the number. Here potassium K is only 1K. That's it. So it is 1. It's balanced. Next, here Cl if you consider, nothing is there in the sense. Here as well as here, nothing is there in the sense, that equals to 1. So here 1 chlorine you are having, that's it also 1. So it is equal. Oxygen if you consider, here it is 3, there it is 2. The number is unbalanced. So that should be balanced. How we are supposed to balance it? Here you are having odd number, right? So this better you make it even, so that side you can put some number so that it will become balanced. So which number you can start so that you can make this number as even? Now it is 3, right? So if I put 1, that will come as 3 only. 3 into 1, it comes as 3 itself. Okay, again you will get odd number. Next number you try. Next number is 2. Okay, multiply by 2. So that when you multiply by 2 over here, so 3 2s are 6 it comes. Okay, so that number you will get in terms of even. So once you will get here even, that's it. It is very easy to balance. How it will be balanced? See, now I put 2 here so that it will become 3 2s are 6. Number of oxygen has been increased to 6. But that side it was only 2 oxygen was there. So how you can make it equal? So this side 6 in the sense, here it was only oxygen, O2, right? Okay. So which number you can multiply so that you will get 6? That is nothing but 3. Okay. So multiply by 3. So here also 3 2s are 6. Any number you can put so that the reaction will become equal. That's it. Okay. So 3 2s are 6. So oxygen is balanced. But after putting 2 here, the number of potassium as well as Cl also has been changed, right? Here number of K is 2, but here it is 1. So how you can make it equal? This number, okay, here it is 2, here it is 1. You want 2K, so put number over here, 2, okay, so that it will become equal. Now, if you put number over here, check with the reaction. Potassium K, here 2, this side 2. Cl, here 1 into 2 is nothing but 2. Again Cl, 1 into 2 is nothing but 2. So Cl also balanced. Oxygen, 3 2s are 6. There also it is 3 2s are 6. Equation is balanced. Next reaction. Zinc reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid. So here zinc when it reacts with H2SO4, you will get zinc sulfate, and again sulfur dioxide and water molecule formation will take place. Now if you go zinc, only 1 zinc is present, there 1 zinc, balanced. Hydrogen if you consider, here hydrogen 2, there also hydrogen, 2 atoms are present, balanced. Sulfur if you consider, here only 1 sulfur, there sulfur if you consider, 1 as well as that side 1 more is there, so 2 sulfur you are having. Oxygen if you consider, 4, okay, so that side if you go 4 plus 2 oxygen, so it will become 6, again 1 more oxygen, so it is 7. So that side the number of oxygen is odd, okay, so better make it even, okay. So first you consider sulfur atoms, here it is 1, that side it is 2. So here also 1 sulfur in the sense, again odd number you are having, make it even. As I said, if you put 1 here, it is of no use, 1 into 1 sulfur only you will get. Next number you put 2, if you put, the number of sulfur will become 2. So that side you know already the number of sulfur is 2, balanced. Next, when you put 2 here, the number of hydrogen will change, number of oxygen will change. So number of hydrogen, how much it will become? is a 4. Number of hydrogens are 4. But here only 2 hydrogen you are having. So what you can do? Make it equal so that multiply by 2 again. Okay. So that your equation will come as 2H2O. Number of hydrogens are 4. As well as if you will go with the oxygen, 4 2s are 8. Okay. 8 oxygens you are having. Now count the number of oxygen that side. 4 plus 2, 6 it is. 2 oxygen here. Okay. So that 8 number of oxygen is balanced. In the same way, you can go with another reaction. You can try with this reaction, that is lead nitrate decomposes on heating to give lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide gas and oxygen gas. So skeletal reaction, write down the skeletal reaction so that the reaction will get balanced later. So lead nitrate PbNO3 twice, lead oxide PbO NO2 as well as oxygen. So again, when you are writing reaction, consider here the lead is Pb is 1, that side 1. Nitrogen here it is 2. Okay. So bracket for polyatomic we have written, so that is 2 number of nitrogen. So nitrogen it is 2, oxygen 3 2 is 6 number of oxygen. So that side oxygen if you consider here 1, again 2 plus 1 is 3, again 2. Okay. So total number of oxygen there 5 oxygens are present. Balance it. Okay. How you are going to balance? First that side you are having odd number. Okay. 2 plus 2, again here you are having only 1 oxygen. Make it even. How? Multiply by 2 so that you will get number 6. Okay. So if their lead oxide is balanced in the sense, here also it should be balanced because here Pb has been increased. Put number of 2 over here. Okay. So that lead you will get 2, there also it is 2. Oxygen is balanced. Now number of nitrogen you check. Nitrogen here it is 2, again here it is 2. So 2 2s are 4 nitrogens you are having, but there only 1 nitrogen you are having. Okay. So 4 this side, that side only 1 nitrogen. Put number of 4 there so that here also nitrogen will become 4, there also nitrogen will become 4. Again now count the number of oxygen. Number of oxygen also balanced over there. Okay. You can go with some of the reactions. So which when will be given. Okay. So you can go with some of the reactions. So we can deal with, you will understand more with the chemical reaction how to write balancing equations. Okay. Thank you.